All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is the halfway point of the season. We're in January, and it's time for some sides to make some transfers. Today, we're going to be going through every single team in the Premier League, and I'm going to decide which player you should sell in this window or during the course of this year, 2023. Now, that might not just mean who's the worst player in the team. And I've got some good players in this list I'm about to give you. Some average players. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. First of all, Arsenal. League leaders were travelling to North London. Cedric Soares. I can't lie. This guy, the fact that this man got a move to Arsenal when not starting for Southampton is fraudulent activity. 3 to 5 years in jail. I'm not even gonna lie. A man that comes from an extravagant country but is called something like Cedric cannot be trusted. However, if we're talking actual money, Cedric Soares is my pick, but Nicolas Pepe, the man that they signed for £72 million a few years ago, has also got to go, if we're going to be honest. He will at least bring in some sort of finance, some kind of funds, but to be honest, they're going to be finishing in the Champions League at the very least this season, so they might not need it. Aston Villa, and I'm not going to lie, we're going to get a little bit controversial here. I'm already going to get 20% more dislikes on this video straight off the bat. Philippe Coutinho. Hear me out, okay? I know the FIFA players right now are questioning me. He might be, technically speaking, like the best player at Aston Villa. I understand that. This guy is on 125k a week and he's not even starting. 0 goals and 0 assists halfway through the season is criminal. He got back pocketed by a train station just north of London in the FA Cup. Like, I'm gonna be honest, there's some hope because he was pretty decent last season, but it doesn't look like he's, you know, in favour amongst the starting 11 under Unai Emery. He saw him in Barcelona. He knows that he's not that guy. He's got PTSD. I know they only just signed him permanently. Oh, he got the bag and then just stopped caring, didn't he? Bournemouth, a little bit less controversial with this one. We got Jack Stacey, the fullback there. Now, I'm not gonna lie, when I was researching this video, I thought this guy was 21. This guy is 26. It's not getting any better from this point. Like, this guy's in the prime of his life and he's not Premier League quality. And to be honest, even if Bournemouth went down, I feel like they could improve on him at right back. Brentford next, and as a Liverpool fan, I would like them to sell Johan Wissa and Brian Mbeumo, to be honest with you. I'm gonna go with Christopher Ajer here, which is a weird one because he had such a good reputation coming from Celtic when he signed. Literally just hasn't been able to, or just hasn't felt like he's ever lived up to the hype that he should have had as a youngster during the course of this transfer. I don't know what it is. I don't know whether he's just not been given a good run in the team. All he is proper tall. And believe me, I know what it's like to be lanky as a footballer. It can be difficult sometimes. But, you know, Christopher Ajer, I feel like they could get some decent money for him and they don't really need him. Brighton, I'm not even gonna lie, there's no starting players that should be sold. I know Trossard currently wants to elbow the manager in training right now, but aside from all the politics, Aaron Connolly has got this guy's been needing to go for a little while now. He's out on loan. They've changed. Brighton have gotten a lot better since he was playing for them. They've evolved as a club. Like, they've got Mitoma like studying football at university. You can't compete when the starting 11 wingers got a 2-1 in ball control. To be honest, I know a few other people that were controlling balls during university, but yeah, man, he's got to go. Brighton are too good for him now. Chelsea now, honestly, for these lot, depends who's on the ball. If genuinely speaking, this could change by next Tuesday. Everybody's got to get out of there. I'm being serious. Jorginho's got to go. Kepa Arrizabalaga got to go. Joao Felix only just got there. He's got to go. See, you have to sell him. He's not even your player. He's on loan. Red card after 55 minutes. You must be mad. It says a lot that he was still their best attacking player and he didn't even play half the game. But yeah, Chelsea are in the mud. The person that I am gonna go with, though, is the worst of the worst. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, man. Whoever did the dealings for this move, yeah, whoever convinced Chelsea to sign Aubameyang was also involved in the Cedric Soares deal. It might even have been Cedric Soares. They know each other from the Arsenal days. It's wild, man. Anytime this guy signs the ting, it just ends disastrously. Flipping heck, man. The guy has no desire, has no confidence, has no goal scoring ability. They're already trying to sell him back to Barca for free. This is one of the worst deals I've ever seen. I don't know whether his teammates are distracted by his hairline. I don't know whether he's distracted by it, but it's all a mess. Crystal Palace, we're going a little bit less controversial. Again, Jairo Reed of old, a Dutch sort of defensive mid / centre back who honestly, I just forgot he was there. I was looking through the list of players at Palace and I just chose the one that seemed the least useful. This guy's been there there since about 2011. He's never locked down a starting place. If you asked like 60% of Crystal Palace fans how to spell his name, they wouldn't be able to tell you. And that's all you need to know. Everton now, genuinely, this list could be ridiculous. 50% of the squad could go into this category. Tom Davies, Michael Keane could be involved in this. Dele Alli is a firm shout. Next time he gets to Goodison Park, the locks have changed. Dwight McNeil is putting in one of the worst annual performances I've ever seen in a footballer. The guy's got no work ethic as well, which doesn't help at a side like Everton in their current predicament, because not only are you performing badly, but you're not coming across like you care or that you try. Fulham is a bit more of a difficult one, because again, this is a side that are overperforming in terms of the league. There's not many starting players that you could put in this category, but one player that used to start but has been shuffled down the order is Kevin Mbabu, and I'm going to choose him because he sort of came in as the guy that should have been starting at right back for Fulham. He's kind of been moved out the starting 11 by Kenny Tete, who's been really good in that position. Instead of him, I feel like he could still command a decent fee, especially if Fulham do pretty well in the league this season. I think maybe come towards the end of 2023 or even in the summer, just move him along. You don't even really need him like that. Now, Leeds fans, I know where you're thinking I'm gonna go, all right? Junior Firpo, he's shit. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know how a man that was contracted to Barcelona could be that bad. We did just do a whole segment on Aubameyang, but hear me out on this one because I'm gonna go a little bit left field. Dan James. Now, as I said, hear me out. Money. For some reason, this man will continually be sold for large amounts of money. Like, he's a quick guy, but that is really all he brings to the table. He'd be good in the 100-meter sprint. He's decent in a relay. He's winning the parents' race at Sports Day when he has kids. Good for him. But to be honest, I don't think Leeds need him with the winger options they've got in Nonto, Somerville, and Sinistera now. Leicester are once again a team with some very obvious options here. You've got Jose Perez, who's genuinely just terrible. You've got Yannick Vestergaard, who's earning quite a lot, but not actually playing. Danny Ward is not a real goalkeeper. They've replaced Kasper Schmeichel with a man who sounds like he should be a FIFA regen. He's been better recently, but as I said, Leicester still probably need, what, a centre-back and a new goalkeeper for next season. Liverpool now, and this one is difficult because we're very shit. I'm going to be honest with you, lads, there's a lot of candidates here as well. Adrian, just because I'm still mentally scarred. Joe Gomez just seems like he's consistently injured and not really going anywhere. Curtis Jones would be working for Uber Eats if he wasn't from Liverpool. But the player that I'm going to choose is Naby Keita, okay? Because honestly, there's not one single thing that our head of physiotherapy doesn't know about Naby Keita's life. He knows his wife, he knows his wife's maiden name, he knows where his kids go to school, because Keita is just constantly injured. And whilst I love him, he's one of my favorite players. I think he's really, really good to watch. He came on in a game recently and completely changed it, but he just is never fit. He's always injured, and I think now is the time to cash in on him before he leaves on a free after signing for over 50 million quid. Now, Man City next, and this is another one where it's not a bad player at all. I'm going to choose Aymeric Laporte, and people might be a bit confused about that one, but he's someone that's not really perceived as a starting player by Pep Guardiola anymore. He clearly has a lot of faith in people like John Stones, Manuel Akanji, Nathan Ake as well, alongside obviously Ruben Diaz, who arguably is their best centre-back, but has been injured a little bit recently. Laporte has also struggled with fitness, and when you've got an abundance of centre-backs, when you've already got 4 very solid centre-backs, and he's not getting a look in, just might as well sell him. I think he's the player they would miss the least. Now, Manchester United, okay, there might be some obvious ones. Harry Maguire is gonna go probably to Aston Villa. Scott McTominay genuinely hasn't provided a piece of actual footballing technique in at least 2.5 years, but one man that's gotta go. Donny van de Beek, bro. He's literally, this guy is a professional's bench cushion. He came on once in like the last month, got injured, out for the season. Just wrap it up. Just give it up. The guy's hit the stairs. It's time to sell him. Erik ten Hag is a Dutch player whisperer. That's not a phrase. He brings the best out of anyone from the same country as him, and even he has not been able to do that for Donny van de Beek. It's time to go. Newcastle is yet another tough one because again, they're overperforming, but at the same time, because they're in this transitional period between what Newcastle used to be and some of the players they're wanting to bring in, there are some players that are just naturally not going to be at Newcastle by the end of the year, like a Jacob Murphy, maybe a John Joe Shelby. But for me, the man who's absolutely got to go, he had to go anyway before they got taken over, Paul Dummett. I'm convinced the only reason this man is still at Newcastle is because the Saudi owners haven't spotted him still there yet. Now, Nottingham Forest may have already signed 47 players this season, but there's only a couple that I would say they definitely have to get rid of. Emmanuel Dennis has not hit the ground running at all since his move from Watford, so I think he's probably someone that's gonna go. But more imperatively is Harry Arter. This guy hasn't played a professional game of football probably in like 4 years. I've forgotten what he looks like. They're paying him 40 grand a week. They loaned him out, I think, to Notts County, and he doesn't even start for them. He's got to go. Like, he literally has to go. We're moving on to Southampton. Surprisingly, this was actually quite difficult given they're bottom of the league right now, because I feel like everyone's like on an average level of just shitness. People like Shea Adams, misses so many gilt edge opportunities all the time, but equally he at least gets himself into those positions, so that would be kind of harsh. I'm gonna go with someone who was his strike partner for a decent amount of last season. We're gonna go with Adam Armstrong, who is just not good enough to be a striker at this level. He's very small. He got pushed out wide and has been like okay-ish there, but they just signed Orzic, so you don't even need him anymore. Genuinely, him and Shea Adams I don't think would start for Stoke City. On my life, I don't actually believe that. Tottenham, this is so easy. Tottenham was the easiest one of the lot. I didn't even have to go through their squad or anything. Emerson Royal. I've never seen a Brazilian footballer with less technique. The no-look pass that went out of play for a goal kick genuinely could have been prosecuted by law. He's not royalty. He's just like the jester. He's just some random security guard that happens to work at Buckingham Palace. Get him gone. I understand why Barcelona bought him, and I'm pretty sure sold him in the same window. West Ham was kind of tricky. Again, almost similar to Southampton. There's almost this collective level of like below averageness rather than like one or two players being really, really bad. I got a lot of shouts for Thomas Soucek, but for me, like a safer option in terms of just a sale or someone to get rid of is unfortunately Angelo Ogbonna, someone I really, really liked as a centre-back and I thought was doing really, really well for West Ham until he got that crazy knee injury. I want to say last season or the season before. He's getting on now. He's not getting any younger. He's 34 years of age, so it's probably just time for him to go. And finally, we've got Wolves. There was actually quite a lot of candidates for this one. We had Hwang Hee-chan, who was good at the World Cup for South Korea, but since he made his move permanent to Wolves, has not been good at all. Semedo, I think, is like he's just not a clever fullback at all. He's not decent. I'd have thought about Diego Costa, but I think he would have imprisoned my loved ones if I'd have done that. So I'm gonna go with Raul Jimenez, unfortunately. Yet another player who was, you know, a fan favorite, one of their standout performers until a nasty injury, and he's just not been the same since then. You can't rely on him to finish consistently, and Wolves are just lacking a natural goal scorer right now, so he's got to go. They can replace him with someone that they think is going to grab a few more goals. He's not bad. He could still make a good career for himself playing in like a bottom half La Liga team probably, or in like Turkey or some shit. But at Wolves, I think the time's come. I think he's got to go. But that is one player, or in some instances, many players that your team should sell during 2023. Let me know what you think down in the comment section. If there's any players that you disagree with or any teams you disagree with, then let me know down there. If you enjoyed the video though, feel free to slap a like on it, and of course subscribe if you're new to the channel. You can also follow me on social media. It is at @theofficialfng on Twitter and on Insta. But it's been a pleasure ranting at you guys today. Have a wonderful day, enjoy yourselves, and goodbye.